US. My role is I am the Senior Director for Student Recruitment for North Texas. North Texas, where are we from? Where is it night at the moment? So if you look at the night sky of US, you have a big bright spot here in the center, south of the country. That is where we are located, right there at North Texas. Why such a big bright spot? Because there's lots of industry, lots of opportunity right there, right? So Texas is a big place. If you put Texas on the map of India, you see it stretches all the way from Delhi in the north, all the way down to here, Kurnool in the south. All right, Texas is a wonderful place for two good economic reasons. Reason number one, we still have the fundamental traditional energy economy. And recently, the second largest oil company, Chevron, moved from Bay Area, San Francisco to Dallas. We already had the first biggest one. The ExxonMobil company was already with us. And so there's a cluster of terrific oil, gas, renewable energy right on our doorstep. Why is that important to you? Because when a state is rich, it means it can keep the cost of education affordable. Second, a part of our economy is the new high-tech economy. And every month there are big tech firms moving into North Texas. The last couple of months have been big semiconductor companies who've moved in. And of course there's this massive facility called Gigafactory. Gigafactory is the production facility of Tesla, where they make electric cars and components for their spacecraft. Really exciting, fantastic jobs for you to be involved with. So Dallas-Fort Worth. Dallas is it's a twin city, Dallas and Fort Worth, and you see that all that economic activity here represented in the city. And so we are about 40 minutes drive north of that big city. Well, 40 minutes if I drive, about 30 minutes if my wife drives, right? And so we are in a very safe student campus called Tree Line Campus. It's like a village in itself. About 50,000 students there, about 5,000 students from all over India. In fact, a number of students from right here at GPREC. In the US, you have basically two types of universities. You have the teaching universities, where they only teach, and you have the research universities, where they have labs, where you do research. We are that type, the research university, and the ranking that's very important for us is Carnegie Foundation ranking, where we are a tier 1, top tier university we are a top 3% of research universities in the US. And we are a comprehensive university, meaning that we have many different colleges, like your own campus, right? Where you got the College of Pharmacy and the College of Engineering. We offer comprehensive. We have education, we have journalism, music, the natural sciences, hospitality and merchandising. Lots of great fields of the future for you to choose from. Many of you, when you think about, oh my goodness, am I going to make it to the next step? Am I ready, right? Then the question is, you often worry, oh my goodness, yeah, I'm good at this, but I'm not so good at that. And you worry, are you a well-rounded student, right? Guess what? That's not what industry is looking for. Industry is looking much more for a student who has more of what they call the spiky skill set. Spiky means you still very much have a strong core, but around the core you also have real passion, real skills, great networking skills as well. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about spiky, but we're going to start off by having our dean talk more about an area of the future that is really ready for the big data economy. You know, just 10 years ago, Dean Kinshuk and I would come to India, we would look on the back of a rickshaw, and it would say, telecom. And everyone wanted to be a telecom engineer, right? And the engineer bubble grew, and the engineer bubble burst. Just 5 years ago, just before COVID, we would come, we would look on the back of the rickshaw, and it would say, networks. And many students wanted to be a networks engineer. Now, we look on the back of the rickshaw, and he guesses, what does it say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good guesses, right? What it says is data. And we are in a big data economy, right? So Dean Kinshuk's going to tell you about the programs in his department and how they make you ready for that big data economy.
So, many of you, when he asked, what does it say, you guessed AI, correct?
Yes.
That's correct. AI and data science in some way go together, okay? So think about it. How many of you are here in computer science related area? Ooh, so what others are doing? There are still few hands ready to go up. Okay. In today's world, we are generating more data than ever we did. Okay? That's not really the interesting story here. The interesting story is how we are using that data. Now we use that very, very large data to make almost real-time decisions. Give you an example. We are working nowadays, you see self-driving cars, correct? Self-driving cars, how do they run? They take the data, all their data, but then they take the data from road, they take the data from other cars and try to make a decision how fast to go, where to go, how to turn, how to change the lane, how to turn, all those kind of things. Let's say a car is going like 100 kilometers an hour and suddenly another car cuts in. Now what? This car has to make a decision like less than a second by looking at all the data, that is its data, that car's data, what else is happening, and make a decision to either brake or move suddenly, otherwise it will hit the car. How do you make that decision? Traditional computer science techniques, they are really good in managing data or making decisions, but not in such a real time. And that's where comes what we call big data. The decisions, the analysis to do on that big data is what data science is. That's what you saw there. That a lot of people are now focusing on these emerging areas. Data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security, health informatics. A lot of these areas are coming up because this big data is now driving. And of course, the amount of data we are going to generate is going to be even more. Do you think that we will start to generate less data in future? Now, every device, I have this, how many of, okay, it's a stupid question, how many of you don't have a cell phone? Good that I didn't ask how many you have. How many of you have a smartwatch? No, nobody. You know it. So why it took like 3 seconds? You know, I told you in less than a second a car can hit. When I asked, it took like 3 seconds for you to think about it. What's happening here? generating how much data? This is using how much data? And these are just the two devices that we currently can think of. There's so many devices we are creating. There's something called Internet of Things. Nowadays even fridges are coming where it should communicate with internet. Alexa, Siri. How many of you talk to your phone? Okay, good. Now, when you are talking to your phone, you know what you are talking, correct? I hope you know what you are talking. But how does your phone know what you are talking? How does it understand what you are talking? What is going on inside? That's where it comes. Perfect. Lots of these new areas are coming, and I'm going to focus on the first one. Okay, although you can see me, I just talked about how your computer, your phone understands you. That's linguistics. Lot of things are happening in health area. Before, for example, if somebody has a cancer, how do they treat? Radiation therapy. They would put a lot of medicine and it will basically try to burn the area or remove the. But what used to happen, because it cannot just pinpoint, they will have to take out some healthy tissue also. Now what is happening? We have got nanoparticles with algorithms and medicine attached. It will go inside, it using that algorithm, try to find exact cell that is cancerous cell, attach itself and then release medicine. Only that cell will die. Just one example of health informatics. Lot of trainings are happening. Every company, every institution needs training. How do you create the training? How do you understand that people are actually getting competence? Learning technologies. All the manipulation of information science. In very generic sense, computer science for big data is data science. You really need to start thinking, how do you make yourself successful in the future? What you should be doing, if you are all computer science people, you should be thinking, okay, is that enough for me? Or should I be doing something more? Even now, so many free courses available in Coursera and other places. Take something in blockchain, in crypto, in cybersecurity, in machine learning, learn Python if you have not learned it during your program, learn R, lot of these different things. But then think of, how do I make myself stand among everybody else? That's where comes higher degree. That's where you go for something like Masters in Data Science. Okay? Think about those kind of things. There are a lot of different type of jobs available. Very high paying jobs. These are the jobs that generally start at $80,000 per year starting. Okay? So think about, if you have that, if you think from now, because you cannot think after finishing your degree. The process starts much earlier, and I think Pieter, you will cover that part. So just wanted to give you this, that from now start thinking about what you want to do next.
Thank you, Dean Kinshuk. All right, so let's get back to Spiky. Spiky is going to help you as a framework to think about how not only can you do real well in your coursework here, but how can you develop those other skills that are going to be very important for you to get admitted to a university in the US, get picked up by a lab, find your way to an internship, and ultimately off to a successful career. So let's look at Spiky. Remember, Spiky has at the core strong knowledge. That's what you pick up here. But in addition to that, there's also the development of a real passion for a field. Second, there's the development of essential skills to help you through life. And finally, there is your ability to network. Let's look at all those factors in turn. So first of all, gaining knowledge, that's what you do right here, right? And you've made a really good choice to start out here and gain all this wonderful knowledge. Second step, discovering your passion, developing a passion. Here's a picture. Just looking at him, you know he's got passion, right? Developing a passion, in this case, he's passionate about robots. How does that look? Is this like, oh, yeah, I find robots interesting. That's not a passion, right? A passion is, ever since I was a little boy, I am fascinated by robots. I've read every book about robots. I watched every video about robots. Every year, if I got to do a project, it was about robots. Every night before I go to bed, I watch the Robot Channel. And all night long, I dream about robots, right? That's a passion. Why is that important? Because when you present yourself to a university, we want to know, are you really interested in what you're going to learn? Are you going to drive your own learning? Are you really going to build something that makes you attractive to industry? Right? So that's passion. Second, developing your skills. Well, there's skills in different areas that you can start today to work on and to document that you've been doing this. Basically, there are 3 clusters of skills that are very important for you. The first one, teamwork, right? If you are very good, but you're just off there by yourself doing things, not gonna work. Right? That's not what this big data world is all about. It's being able to work with different people, different skills, different fields, different locations, and being effective to work with them. Second, it's all about solving problems. It's all great if you're a little expert in a particular area, but who cares if the big problems don't get solved, right? So problem solving is the second one, and finally, it's all about communication. Can you tell others about what you're doing? Can you get them excited? Can you, in a brief moment, bring across what it is that you're working on, right? Those 3 skill sets, you can start today, right? You can join student clubs and be working on a project together. And you can do fairs like we drove in and we saw there was a big science fair just the last couple of days. That's all about communication and showing others what you're working on. Make sense? So you can be building this as you go. Very important skill set. And then finally, there is your activities in building your network. Your activities in building your network start right here, right? This college, with the faculty, has an amazing career center and all those help for you to set you on your way to learning about next steps beyond just your textbooks, how you can start to prepare for next studies. Second, throughout the US, there are many offices from what we around the world call Education USA. Here in India, it's called USIEF. They're based, for instance, the nearest office would be in Hyderabad. They have an amazing library where you can look up anything about any university you want to go to. Also, they have online really good seminars and webinars that you can follow where you can learn about how do you choose a school in the US, how do you get admitted, how do you find funding, how do you prepare before you go on the plane, all right? Third, and this is why Naveen sir is with us, there is lots of wonderful education advisors right here, and none better than Naveen's team. Naveen sir is here for you as a resource, right? Naveen's team, his advisors, Pradeep, Gautami, Shravanti, Venu, they've all been to our campus. They know more about my campus than I do, right? And the beauty is they are right here, and you can have a rich conversation with them right here. They want you to come and meet with them, because in just an hour, you can be many steps ahead in just talking to these wonderful advisors. These advisors are some of the kindest, nicest people you will know, right? And Naveen, not so bad either, right? Okay, and then finally there is my team. My team starts right here in India too. So permanently on my team here all day long is Gita Karuba, who is my permanent representative here. And in the next weeks and months, you will see Gita come to campus here as well. And so she's there to talk about your dreams, to guide you as to what schools in the US may make sense for you, and to take you for next steps. Notice it's a whole network, right? It starts right here at home. There is the wonderful resources of USIEF. There's Naveen and his team, and then there's my team too. So you don't have to make this up yourself, right? They're really good people to help you every step of the way to make it to North Texas. We have a number of your colleagues who went in the years before, who are now pursuing amazing academic careers on our campus, are in some of those truly cool labs where they're learning about virtual reality and artificial intelligence and all of that. Were they Einstein? Were they somehow so special? No, right? But they were thinking about Spiky. They were thinking about how beyond my knowledge, what steps can I take to get really well informed, to stand out with a passion, and therefore, when you interact with us, we go, yes, that's the student we want in our lab, because we know that when we're working on conferences, when we're working on papers, that's the person that's going to shine on our team, right? So with that, quick word about US universities. US universities are a little different than many of the other choices you have, right? You can go UK, you can go Australia, you can go Canada, or US. In those other locations, they all have the British model of education. British model of education is very directive in the courses you have to take, right? US not so. US early on in your program, yes, when you do the core, we will tell you the courses. But soon after that, you can choose whatever you want in different fields and bring them into your degree program, so that when you graduate, you have that spiky profile. Make sense? Also, then when you graduate from a US university, you become part of a global network of US educated professionals. Why is that important? Now more than ever, when you look on TV, you go, what's going on in Washington? My goodness, right? And you think, what's going on? Why is it all so uncertain? Well, yes, new administration, new focus, all that's true. But if you're focused on coming into the country with a proper visa, focusing on your studies, getting a great internship, you become ready to be one of those US educated professionals. And that network around the world of US educated professionals does not change whoever's in the White House, right? All that opportunity is waiting there for you. So that whenever you want to have your career in Kurnool, or Hyderabad, or Delhi, or Dubai, or Singapore, in all those locations, you will come across that network of professionals who have also studied in US, who've also seen this craziness with the athletics and all the wonderful kind of campus spirit and everything that makes the US campus fun. So keep your eye on that. Don't delay. Once you have a chance, once you graduate here, keep going, keep learning. Dean Kinshuk has said to you how quickly technology is changing. Don't stop, right? Grab your opportunity, ride that train, and onward to an amazing career for you. All right, one more picture to show you. US is a massive place, and it has different climate zones, right? In the winter, the north of US, it's pretty cold, right? And so think also about where's your creature comforts, right? If you study there, you have to live there, right? So send a little email and you ask Pieter to add you to her WhatsApp group just for GPREC, right? And so she can then know where you're from and give you the good information. All right? Thank you.